Alright, as always, you can go to YouTube channel My Medical Nightmare and see 40 plus hours video on everything that happened to me. Alright, the city of Trussville, Alabama, USA sells out its townsfolk by inviting corrupt hospitals into its community. And there's two of these so-called freestanding emergency departments that are springing up within the Trussville city limits. The Grandview Hospital opened this past summer at 5542 Vanderburge Lane, Trussville, Alabama 35173. The Ascension St. Vincents East Freestanding Emergency Department opened at 6670 Green Drive, Trussville, Alabama in February 2024. This video is mainly going to focus on Ascension, but I cannot recommend that you go to Grandview to seek medical treatment because in my experience, when I had problems, when you call their hospital, they have staff that deal with the public that will not give first and last names. They use pseudonyms, fake names, and nicknames. If you're dealing with serious injuries that may cost into the tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to treat, you can't afford to deal with so-called professionals that won't give you a real name. Unfortunately, in the state of Alabama, many medical practices, doctors' offices, and hospitals do abide by this practice. And the state of Alabama Medical Board will not help you when you go to them about these matters. I've been there and done that. You can go to my video channel, and I've got recorded phone calls with all of these people. Just take a listen, and you'll see the truth and the reality. My own opinion, having experience with Ascension St. Vincent's and some of their facilities and doctors around the Birmingham, Alabama area, this is a huge mistake on the part of the city of Trussville. You want to know what I'm talking about? Please listen to the end of this call. You'll hear a message I left to Ascension Chief Executive Officer Joseph Impeachike. Ascension is, of course, one of the United States' leading nonprofit and Catholic health systems. They have over 134,000 associates, 35,000 affiliated providers, and 139 hospitals under its management in 18 states. In the Birmingham, Alabama area, this includes St. Vincent's and associated hospitals such as St. Vincent's East. What it comes down to for the city of Trussville is there are simply not resources in place in your city to adequately gauge and enforce regulations against the corrupt business practices of this hospital. Another issue with Ascension, people are simply paid off to look the other direction when problems arise. Please see the letter of United States Senator Tammy Baldwin of the state of Wisconsin, who has looked into Ascension and their impact in various communities. What people living in Trussville have got to look forward to in the future as it relates to Ascension St. Vincent's. Problems are going to arise, and you're going to notice that they just get ignored, swept under the rug. Search the review sites as far as patient experiences with Ascension and employee experiences working for Ascension. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll show you here a review by a registered nurse currently employed from Indiana who works for an Ascension hospital. She describes Ascension as a sinking ship. She observed Ascension take over St. Vincent's Hospital, and all of a sudden, medical providers and professionals in her community start quitting and leaving their jobs. It's because of how Ascension does business. They do business in the wrong way. What happens eventually is the hospital that Ascension moves in and takes over, it's forced to shut down because The staff, nurses, and doctors, they're simply not being compensated properly, and they have very little resources to work with. Service to patients with health problems also suffers, and what they do is they eventually pull the plug and close the hospital. People are going in to the emergency departments in the Ascension hospitals seeking health treatment. They're being told they have no injuries, despite the fact that they may do. They're being damaged by these medical opinions. Some of them don't make it and they die. I found out I was misdiagnosed in this way. Got my records. I'll put them up here so we can look at them again. Went back to Ascension, went to these doctors. They won't speak to me. They say they bear no responsibility for their errors. All right. Unresolved issues in my own case. I believe that there are many patients like myself who are not so fortunate to discover the truth of their injuries and challenge Ascension on the facts. I survived, and I'm not happy about what happened to me. I called Ascension CEO Joseph Impeachike in 2021, never got a call back from the CEO, and I'll play that call once again at the end of this video. You can hear some details about what happened to me.
You've reached the Ascension System Office General Mailbox. After the tone, leave a detailed message and someone will respond to your call. Thank you.
I'm trying to reach CEO Joseph Impeachike, and he can contact me at that number, and I have a message that I would like to give to Ascension. Between 2018 and 2019, I was an emergency department patient at Ascension St. Vincents East Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. I believe I had broken my neck. I had an x-ray, 2 CT scans, and later an MRI looked at by Ascension St. Vincent's doctors. Each time they had told me I had no injuries in this area, I knew their diagnosis was an error as my condition worsened. The area became infected and infested with parasites. By summer 2019, I almost died. I obtained my medical records from your hospital along with the x-ray, CT, MRI imagery, and discovered the truth of my injury. I had broken bone in the underside of my skull in the area of the condylar canal and occipital condyle. How the doctors could have missed such a large and serious injury over multiple hospital visits is inexcusable. I believe some element of organized corruption may exist in this hospital. I have compiled over 10 hours of video documentation on what happened to me on my YouTube channel, and the name of the channel is My Medical Nightmare. I believe I may have been a victim of patient dumping in the course of my seeking treatment, which is a violation of EMTALA, E-M-T-A-L-A. When I told medical staff associated with Ascension about my discovery that I had been misdiagnosed repeatedly, I was personally attacked and my psychological state was challenged, and this is reflected in medical records I obtained later. I could not obtain proper treatment or diagnosis for this injury because doctors and nurses that I would subsequently have encounters with would only entertain what the erroneous Ascension ER findings were. My mother, who was a nurse for 20 years, had the misfortune of working in an Ascension hospital. When I questioned my MRI findings involving St. Vincent's Ambulatory Healthcare Network LLC and Dr. Michael Brandt Ruff, MD, radiologist, in March 2019. My mother, who was a nurse for 20 years and worked in the Ascension Hospital, she was terminated from her job there around the same time. And so this phone call, I challenge the misdiagnosis of Ascension St. Vincent's East Hospital, Birmingham, Alabama, and I challenge the policy of this hospital. And Mr. Impeachike, I think you need to look into this, please. Please listen to my message, look into what I'm saying, and you're free to contact me. Thank you.